we're going to do a stockpile, and this is temporary. We're going to end up putting 2 of these guys in here. So let's do this one over here. That'll work. And it's going to be wood, but in this case it's going to be planks and sticks. And of course we tick that to 4. Unpause time. So somebody's going to come over here, craft those planks, going to lay those out here, and then we'll be able to use those for workshops. Now, I am going to go ahead and start the build on the first workshop. So what we want to do is we're going to go to wood, and it's the sawmill. This is the basic one that lets us make planks and everything. So that's what we're going to do. This needs a workbench, a chair, and a saw blade. That's right. We have to make some of the other stuff too. Okay, for some reason I thought this was going to be able to be made right away. Let's see. Maybe it's the other one? I can use this guy to make planks. Yeah, maybe it's the other one. I may have my order out of whack here. Let's the carpenter. I was saying the wood. I was saying wood cutter, but what I meant was the carpenter. Yeah. He's the guy that can make like all kinds of stuff here. And then what I want to do is I'm actually going to... I obviously haven't made any of these yet. I'm just kind of looking at these. We have the stone cutter that turns stone into blocks. We're going to want that too. So basically what we need is a number of workbenches, chairs, and chisels, except for the sawmill doesn't use a chisel, it uses a blade. So this is the way this works here. We're going to actually pause this real quick because it's going to take me a little while. So we're going to go in here and basically what I'm wanting to do is make 4 workbenches. 2 of them wood related, 2 of them stone. But all 4 of them take a chair. So we're going to go ahead and say, yeah, we need 1, 2, 3, 4 chairs. All 4 need workbenches. So 1, 2, 3, 4 workbenches. And then 3 of them need a chisel. The 4th one is the sawmill. It needs a saw blade, but that requires a special workbench. So that one's got to wait. But we can at least queue this stuff up to get made. If I click on chair, you can see it takes planks. Same with the workbench and everything. So basically he's going to come in here, he's going to make 6 planks, then he's going to start making the stuff. When he runs out, he's going to make more planks. So that's going to be kind of how that goes for now. We're going to get that set up, and hopefully he gets cranking through that. That would be great. And in the meantime, we're going to pause again. We want to designate a stone stockpile. So if we're looking at wood kind of in this northeastern section, then we're going to do stone down in the other section here. So we'll drag out a 5x5, and we're going to choose stone, in this case raw stone. And I almost forgot the 4. So there we go, that's cool. Now what they're going to do is start bringing up, you can see it's green, that means that they're going to start working this right now. Any of these things that get lit up green means there's activity that's happening. Even if they're not there yet, they're on their way. So very cool. If we scroll all the way down here, you can see that they are picking up this stone, and then down below they're going to start gathering. And now I'm remembering, yes, we have metal as well. Let's go ahead and set up some more mining of this. And we'll just do some long stretches along here. Now, because light is important down here, because we want to get torches and light this area, I want to avoid doing long twisting tunnels or anything like that, because the light doesn't go there. So my plan here is to build this kind of in a square shape that the light can sit in the middle of. So that's why we're going to do this. In fact, we're going to actually go like this. We're going to keep the miners busy, at least for a little while. And I think we can go one more here. So we're going to let them go ahead and do that. And of course, other people are bringing up the stone. If we come all the way up here, whoops, a little too far. You can see we have the stone stacking. I think this only stacks to, oh no, 64. I was going to say 32, but cool. Well, underway. Things are going quite well. We go back up to the top. It's nighttime right now. We have a yak wandering around for some reason. He's like, I'm coming back. I wasn't going anywhere. I am missing one. There he is. What are you doing? Where'd you guys go? Let me back out. Okay. Yeah. I don't know where they were running off to. Okay. Let's see. We have the crates down here. Now, one of the things we're going to have quite a bit of, if I go back up to the top, is we're going to have these seeds. And I could just put some stockpiles out here for that. You can see we have a lot of wood out here because there's just no more room for it down below. So let's see, let's think about that. I could designate an area like I did for the dirt here. I could designate an area for seeds. I'm going to actually open up some more space here. Now, one of the things too that I noticed is you'll fill these stockpiles up. So I'll get this all filled up, and your natural reaction is to think, let me make this stockpile really big. What happens is you build a crate on it, and then what they do is they say, oh, there's a crate here. Let me start filling it up because it's in the stockpile area, and they'll actually go and grab all the wood back and forth, and then it will be completely empty in one crate. That's great. Then what happens is wood will slowly fill in, and when you notice, hey, it's getting kind of full, maybe you build another crate or two. They clean the area up, and so you kind of keep your stockpile a little bit smaller. My initial reaction was to make these really big kind of stockpile areas, but I think the more efficient way is to just try and keep that down. Try not to let it, be this full thing. Now, right now, we're not making crates. We're trying to get to the point to make workshops so we can make crates, but we're not there just yet. Okay, and this is food and drink down here. That's what this whole stockpile area is going to be, is food and drink. So I'm actually going to put a build order in to move the barrels that are out there as well. There's 2 of them you start with. So we're just going to go ahead and stick these on. We'll just put them right here. So we'll get those brought down. Now the bags that are out there, those are better for like the seeds and everything. When I say better, I mean they pretty much only work for that, as far as I know. The barrels and stuff works for drink. The crates work for a number of different things, but I don't quite have that figured out. I don't know if there's a strict kind of rule. There's just a number of things the crates work for and other things it won't work for. So, and right now I think these crates have strawberries in them or something. That's what it looked like before, right? Oh, so we have a bunch of cotton bandages right now. That happens to be this crate. These crates, basically, those initial 3 carry your initial kind of supplies, but we're going to end up rearranging a bunch of that stuff as well. So, cool. We've got all the stone coming up. We can see, let's see, he has 4 planks right now. That's cool. That's cool. So he's probably getting close to having his 6, and then he'll start kind of working on the other stuff so we can get some benches going. Now, we could rearrange the order in some things. I could come in here and actually say, you know what, don't craft this. And I could actually choose a specific number and say, well, a workbench needs 6. So I could do like planks, and I could do like 6 of them, then a workbench. I could really kind of divvy it up so I was getting one at a time. Like, give me a workbench, and then a chair, and then the chisel. Okay, now I can make a workshop while you do the next thing. It's probably the more efficient thing to do. And in fact, I could even at this point say, okay, let me rearrange the order of this stuff a bit so we can actually get stuff done. What I find is the reality is that I move around and do a bunch of other things and I don't quite get to it. Of course, we could put the workbenches down now in anticipation and they would get built, but that's just too efficient. Do you know who I am? I am not efficient at all. That's not what I'm about. We're going to go ahead and dive in here and make the... well, you know what? Actually, we're going to hold that for a second. I was going to start the build on the workshops, but I just remembered the other thing I wanted to do here that I got distracted from. There's a lot of things going on in this game. It's actually one of the things I find really fun about it is there's so many things to do. Kind of running around with your head cut off, like, oh this, oh that, oh I forgot this. I want to designate an area for the metal, right? Basically, we want to bring the ore up here. Stockpile 4, that's cool. So we can start having them bring the copper up here. And we'll have to get like a forge made so we can start making those into bars, and then we can really start making some cool stuff. But there you go. We got ore coming up here. A crate would be nice. I do believe those stack in a crate, but what can you do? Not until this guy's done sleeping and making stuff. Who is this, by the way? Who's slacking here? Nathan. Nathan, get on it. Let's do this. Okay. So we will go ahead and queue this up now, the build, as I said, or as I was kind of getting to before. No, not the crude workbench. Workshop, wood, and let's see. So the sawmill is the base. That's kind of the take wood and make it into planks kind of deal. So we're going to put that kind of up front, and I kind of want it where he is. Oh, why do you have to be right there? Why did I put you there? Oh boy, let's see. I guess I could, let me start with the other one, because maybe I won't do them both yet. In fact, the sawmill is going to be the last thing to be made, really. Realistically, so let's go ahead and start with the carpenter, since he's going to be back off of this a bit. So we need to leave room. A 3x3 block here for the sawmill, so we'll put this here. And I don't really mind if they're like bumping. I've seen some other people in videos kind of leave one, space around everything. It's not required. So that's that guy. Then we're going to go in here, build workshop and stone cutter. That's the base guy here. He takes raw stone and makes it into blocks. So he's going to go here, and I just have a thing. We're going to face him in towards the center. Kind of face everybody in towards the center. So he makes the base stuff, and then behind him is going to be the guy that does the cool stuff. He makes things. The stone mason. Cool. He's going to go right there. Cool. Once we get this going, basically the sawmill replaces the crude workbench. You could leave it up and allow for him to kind of continue to crank on planks, but if you've only got one guy really working that kind of stuff, it doesn't really help you out to have two locations. Obviously, if you have more people, that can work, but here in the beginning, not really helping. Okay, let's go back down here. So they've really opened this up. There's a lot more copper here to be had. I am a little concerned though. I'm actually going to pause time. There's nobody down here right now, so this is a good time to do it. We're actually going to go ahead and close this off. So we're going to build with terrain a wall of dirt, and we're just going to do it there. We're going to fill this thing in. And I've got enough to work with for now. We don't need the copper that bad because we need some good workshops to even get to that, and that's not going to happen for a bit. And as far as stone goes, we've got some up here. So we're going to close that off for now. Nobody needs to be going down there. And then I don't have to worry about any kind of crazy creatures. I say I don't have to worry about that, but I don't know that for sure. Maybe there's even smaller chance or something of it happening on another level, but what do I know? So we did finish a workbench here. We do have the carpenter. So if we come in here, you can see we've got all kinds of stuff to make. And what I want to do is get him working on sticks because they get used in a number of things. So yeah, I mean, he could start making a crate, things like that. But the problem is that we are waiting on planks. This guy's trying to crank out planks as fast as possible. Might even be better for me to not do this, in fact, because that can interrupt his work. We're trying to get planks out of him to work on the other workshops. And if I start queuing up other stuff, it just slows my workshops down. So, all right, Nathan. We'll leave Nathan alone and let him do his thing. That's fine. Now the miners are going to kind of get idle here, so we're going to also go back in here and queue up some more digging. Digging at the stone. There they go. See, they were bored. They're like, yes, things to do. Sometimes I'll do this. If everything else is kind of going, I'll just kind of click, especially when there's particular minerals. Like I found a metal. I'll actually sit and watch them dig and go, okay, now do this one. Now do this one. Kind of micromanage that. Lots of stone in here. So I'm just, at this point, I'm just going to pick a big chunk here. Let them go at it. Stop hovering over their shoulder. Okay, back to the surface. We have daylight hours. And what we're going to do is we're going to pause this real quick. Agriculture farm. And same with the stockpiles. If we start designating a farm from a farm space, it's going to fill in the empty ones with the same type of farm. So I want to do that now that we foraged out I think it was cotton was in the way. So that's cool. That's going to kind of fill that in. We could do the same with the pasture here. We might as well. Pasture. Sure. So once again, what do we have? We have strawberry, we have wheat, and we have been collecting some cotton, I believe. So we can do that as well. Let's do that. Farm. Get that going there, and yes, indeed. Oh, I only have 2 though. Okay, we're gonna do 2, and then we're gonna go ahead and select a forage. Let's see, agriculture forage. I believe this is where they're gonna get the seeds and stuff for cotton. In fact, we got a bunch over here. I don't really need a ton. We're just going to try to get that farm started, so that'll work. Okay. Now we also have the trees here as well. It'd be nice to get. We already have some apples, so that's cool. We saw that we've got a ton of apples and oranges down here. So one of the things that we could do is we could start building out a grove where we're kind of growing the trees. So I could cut down all this kind of random setup and make room to build. And then with the designated areas, it's kind of like moving the trees, essentially. It's like, I want to build there, but I do kind of want to have the trees because we're going to continually kind of harvest them and get oranges from them. So we're going to set up a grove and kind of move them out of the way. So anyway, that's probably what we're gonna do here, and it keeps, you know, everybody busy. It keeps the farmers doing some stuff. So let's see. We want grove, and they're not gonna be able to grove over some of this stuff, but that's all right. We'll just do something. We're not gonna get too crazy with it. So we're gonna do orange here, and I could have kept that selected. And we'll do this guy here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted 3 wide, but again, it doesn't matter. I can add to that. We did orange. Let's do apple. And I still have this selected, so we can just add on to it like so. Alrighty, start the timer up. I think we're doing pretty good here. We're getting things gathered, getting things brought in. Hopefully this is kind of letting you guys see how this works. The very, very basics of getting started here. I really do want to go explore that that cave that is way kind of over here. Not way, we pretty much dug up to its edge. But again, we do have to worry about kind of blocking it off and making sure that nothing too crazy is there. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to let guys go for a bit. We've got a number of tasks queued up, so yeah, we're just going to kind of sit back for a minute and watch things develop, and I think when we come back, we will dig out to that mine. We'll see what's out there. Okay, so we are back here. Now you'll notice that we actually have the stone cutter is built, which is cool. So we can actually kind of queue this up. We're going to jump in here, and we definitely need blocks. Lots of uses for blocks. So we're going to go ahead and craft a block, and then just like we are with the planks, we're going to actually set this to 8. Now, if you're wondering where these numbers are coming from, I did 6 on the planks. In this case, I'm doing 8. In some of the tutorials I watched, that seemed to be kind of a thing, was like 6. And sometimes I just kind of go with 8. You know, I couldn't really tell you why. It's like, well, we're just now getting into stone. Let's try to catch up and get a number of it, you know, a number of these going. So anyway, we've got 8 to be queued there. We're actually going to pause time real quick and consider this. Now, right now we're bringing in metal. We have this area designated for stone, and they've been bringing in a lot of stone. Again, this stacks to 64, so there is room to put some stone blocks onto this pile as well. So I'm gonna go in here and tweak this a bit. Right now we just have stone, raw stone. I'm also going to add blocks, so we'll go ahead and let those be stacked here as well. And if that becomes a problem, we'll separate this out, but it should be cool. And the idea is we'll kind of work backwards from here. So if this becomes an area where I'm really cranking on the stone block, I may come and dig out an area and then move raw stone back to there, and then have the bricks up here, the blocks rather, because the blocks, you know, these kind of finished materials are going to be used by other workshops in this area. So what I'm thinking I'll end up doing is just pushing material away from this center hub, the lower end material. And of course our guys use it to make the higher end stuff, but it doesn't need to be front and center. Right now there just happens to be room for it. It's very easy to undesignate an area, put another, you know, designation down, move things around. That's all very easy. Just a quick change of priorities and they'll completely shift stuff from one area to another. So right now, like I said, we're just using the space in here that I've dug out as best we can, and at some point we'll dig out an area for more and get a little bit more complex with it. So we really want to get these workbenches up, the stonemason, and then we'll replace this guy with the sawmill. But what we're going to do is we're going to come down here, because I want to see this, and we're going to get the miners going in here. So once again, this is going to go out to an area. There we go. We kind of got this pit out here, and we're going to dig right up to it, somewhere like here. And we're going to check this out. Now, do I have any other... I guess they're sleeping right now. I was going to say, do I have other tasks going on? What's happening here? You're roaming around. You're probably idle. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we've got this dug out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this. Now, I'm going to rotate the camera around. I'm going to kind of move us around to the right. So if I click this once, okay, you can kind of see there. Do it again. Let me hit F and bring the wall down. Didn't really help a whole lot. Rotate again. No, it's not a very big area, but sometimes this small little area, well, when you go down, opens up really far. So that's what we're going to do now. This is the current level we're on, -6. We're going to drop down 1. So -7, -8, and here you can see we got some material here. If I rotate around, I think I can select and see what that is. We're going to go left. Left. Oh, it's got a ramp in front of it here. It says it's hidden. I think that's because it's not open to the outside there. Okay, we'll go back here. So we're at -8, -9, -10, -11. Look at this thing, keeps going. 12. Now, here we have coal. This kind of dark crack stuff is coal. And then here we have sapphire. So we have some gems. And this is stuff that I just haven't got to yet. In one of the worlds I did, I actually dug some of this out, but I couldn't do anything with it. I didn't have a gem guy, none of that stuff yet. I just had it collected and was like, well, one day I'll use it. So anyway, let's keep going. Let's see, -13, 14. You can see a couple levels down. We have some copper. 15, coal, and still that copper. Let's see, we're at 16, and now we've got this material here. Is this like emerald, I'm guessing? Can we rotate and click it? Let's see. Emerald, excellent. We'll just stick here and keep going down. Let's see, -17, 18, 19, 20. Geez, this thing goes down. 21, 22. Alrighty, some more of the sapphire. 23, 24. Lots of stone down here. Boy, this thing just keeps going. Ooh, and look at that. Basalt wall. That would be really cool. So that's some dark stone there. So that kind of answering my question about the different types of stone. There are multiple types. And I think I did actually see that in another world. I forgot what that is. I think I've seen that before, but I don't recall. Where are we at? -30, 31, 32, and then we get down to the blue stone here. Very cool. 33, 34, and that looks like that's it. That goes all the way down to -34, and if I quickly scroll up here, well, you can really see that move. Very cool. I just think that's really cool. When I first kind of ran across that, I was like, wow, that is awesome. I dug around it, then I dug down and continued to dig around it. Very cool stuff. So let's see, we're gonna, they're kind of pulling the dirt out right now, which is unfortunate. I don't really care for them to dig this dirt out. Let's go ahead and pause this, and we're going to build terrain wall. Sure, any clump, and we'll do this here just in case he ends up trying to build it in front of him. Nope, that's fine. So somebody's going to come down. We're going to fill that in. That kind of covers our base. You know, nothing's going to come crawling from the depths to come after us. It's a scary thought, right? I hate being up on the upper levels, kind of doing things, going, oh man, I hope it's safe down there. Something could come pouring out. You get some very cool cases. That's one of the things I also really enjoy about this game. I found is that, for example, I had a world I had barely been going, but I dug down to -7. Oh yeah, look at all this material, and I ran across a zombie. Okay, a zombie. I guess I'll fight, and I'll get into that a bit, the military in a bit. And you know, went down there and was like, okay, cool, let's fight the zombie, and I killed it. Awesome, right? Well, my guys were hurt. I was like, okay, well, I'll designate it a hospital area, sure. And I put a bed in it. That's cool. They went and rested. One of them died. Well, they raised as a zombie. Right? That's no good. They've got the equipment on him. I think he just had a shield at the time. But, of course, then he starts fighting, right? I have to send my guys in to fight him. Well, now they're hurt. And so they go to rest, and they bleed out and die, and they come up as zombies. Fast forward, not very long later, and everyone's dead. And it was just one of those things. It was one of those really cool moments. I was like, that's a lot of fun. That's really cool. It was like this kind of, it was almost like a disease. It kind of spread through my colony. And if you watch some of the videos people have, there's some really chaotic things coming across nests of these beetles, and they popped open the wall and the beetles came pouring out. They had a really strong military, but it just didn't matter. There were too many. And then they basically show them swarming through their entire huge bases. Anyway, I find that stuff really cool. I think a lot of you guys would probably really be into that too, that idea. So anyway, something to check out, and who knows, maybe even very soon we'll have our own problem like that. But let's see. Right now, one of the things I'm kind of noting is that we are sleeping pretty much in place. And what I want to do is we're going to jump into stocks, tracked items. Now, I kind of talked about this in the first episode, so we're just going to do this. We're going to jump in. I want to track straw. So I'm going to call it straw, and then we're going to find it in here. It's down here under plant. We can scroll down here. Plant, straw. That's fine. So right now it's saying we have 18. If we make a straw bed, I believe that takes 2. The problem is that's what we use to feed the yaks. So if we go through the straw, yeah, then we're gonna have a bad time. We're gonna lose our yaks. Now, so what's the purpose of yaks? Well, the thing is, once you have a number of these, and I've never had a number of them. I think the most I ever had was 3. You can kind of kill them for meat, but additionally you can kill them and you can use the bones. You'll need the bones to make some other things, you know, with the workbenches. And yeah, you like one of the things you really need is a bone needle, and initially in the beginning of the game you just have no access to a corpse. So what you want to do is take one of your yaks. Pretty much when you get to 3, you take one of them. Probably not the male, because you want a male and female to continue mating. But you take, I think, one of the females. I don't know if it's always this way, but it's 1 male and 2 females. It seems to be the case with me. Anyway, I digress. You basically kill your 3rd yak, and then you can use that bone. So anyway, we definitely want to keep these guys here. Otherwise, it's a long wait.